And the question me see baby say Pacho Justin Kuduya or a lawyer. Abronye a lawyer. Lawyer Morris Ampa a lawyer. Pacho, these are the kind of questions and then me know you baba address it. Enti yam ko me pim enko yenim. Ye pim ko. Na ye sha se no. Abronye DC. Da bia me kan say jandam abronye de ohia TV na ye no. Ensi ye marching boot for boot and as a boot to boot. Ye ma abronye endi tro. Abronye be define 24 hours economic policy. Now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Diabano. Pacho ti udeti ti abronye understanding of 24 hours economic policy.
24-hour economy kyerɛ sɛ adwuma abu nti sɛ nipa ba ko ntimi nya adwuma mu hia nipa miensa at best nipa mienu nti mu ko take saa decision way international media international community invite all those who matter ma mo ba wie na Donald Trump ba be ka sɛ President Mahama launch 24-hour economy. Into a 1 year ehie nienti so ma Ghana ni visa 5 years here. You have no right to insult Donald Trump because our president said Juma wa Ghana. Na ebe da sorry na Canada ban say o President Mahama launch 24-hour economy. Until 1 year so be ma Ghana for 5 years. UK ban ebe follow the same thing because most 24-hour economy e Ghana ha enyuma wo ho obi so adwene se okọ UK obi aboaboa ne ho a obefa ne busuani obi aboaboa ne obefa ne yire ombeka say ye the visa mawa enye yie because 24-hour economy has been launched inti adwuma wo Ghana ha sit here and do it 24-hour economy no near President Mahama ne na ban afa edi abre Ghana fo no ene ne visa restriction na aba no sa visa restriction na aba nyina no 24-hour economy nintia because the government of Ghana is telling everybody say there are so many jobs in the country.
Someone who nipa desani because I can say abronye adan ho propaganda secretary of NPP adan ho say jandam nkoa na oye. First, he is talking about say 24 hours economic policy nature say adwuma abu. Enti Ghana ni bia benya adwuma ye. And then secondly, he went on to deceive Ghanaians to say Donald Trump's administration policy they about say you are reducing B1 and B2 visa from 5 years to 3 months and John Mahama's 24 hours economic policy in this hard number. When Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah can say, look how foolish they are. Sorry for my choice of words. How on earth will somebody who calls himself a lawyer think say, oh no, Jimmy Magana Nibia so Jimmy through he can deceive any Ghanaian? Why are we doing this to ourselves? If American government establishes or no their own policies, do they think about what is happening in the country of Ghana? No, because what I know, any Ghana quite in this policy no every Ghana. What about those in Barbados? What are you calling that? Sometimes, propaganda na aye de bebre Ghana. Somebody might think that some way abroad nye kano. And to be timba sebi obiatia atoni team say John Mahama 24 hours economic policy. Entina ama Donald Trump made this visa restrictions and abba. Per my checks, the American ambassador even explained it to Ghanaians say it has nothing to do with any politics across Ghana, but rather a one initiative what they have decided to do. And they think say Ghana for visa kwa, especially students do not call monsa. And they have researched to know say over 20% of Ghanaians visa kwa monsa. That is why they are putting on these restrictions to control immigration and migration to the US. Visa, you have a purpose. Out the visa, either for tourists or to visit or for medical or whatever. Visa, it is a why this is obit Ghana or visa you are misrepresenting what the intended purpose of visa is. I am not saying say visa you cannot stay there, but obiani who cause some visa like say mami B1 visa, mami B2 visa because America. No. And yes, I have a visa, I have visa. Nobody issues a visa. Even Ghana, according to China, ni come on China, ni visa. So I'm not Ghana, except for the work permit attached or resident permit. Sometimes, you know, yeah, man, Ghana, they come to misrepresent a lot of things. They lie to the people too much. That is exactly the same thing Abronya is doing. Oditron kwa de chere Ghana for. And we have to stop him. We need to stop Abronya and his propaganda style now, you know. All those Ghana need to do Ghana for yeniate. But we need some people to be explaining it to the normal Ghanaians on our streets. Say, hey, asema we can obwa. 24 hours economic policy does not mean anything. Abronya ekano. Pacho yentie His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, how he explains 24 hours economic policy to the Ghanaian. Pacho tien 70 years. Now we are ushi Abronya educate him.
But let me be clear here. The 24H plus agenda is not simply about extending working hours. It is about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunity, accelerating exports through well-structured, multi-sectoral and inclusive interventions. And so we would have national consultation and co-design. And over the past 6 months, the 24-hour plus secretariat under the presidential advisor, Mr. Guzitano, and his team has undertaken an extensive national engagement process. They've listened to entrepreneurs, both large and small, both formal and informal. They've listened to organized labor, cooperatives, farmers, and traders. They've listened to artists, technologists, traditional rulers, and religious bodies. They've consulted with diaspora groups, development agencies, investors, and infrastructure experts. They've talked to youth and women's organizations, scientists, and educational institutions. Alongside the private sector, the Secretariat has worked with government ministries, departments, and agencies to align regulatory, fiscal, and institutional frameworks.
All right, Your Excellency, well done. Why are they? Mr. President, Atone was educating people like Abronya, say 24 hours economic policy. No. Yes, I do not want to expand you, but there were other avenues and some doors to any woman. And why will Abronya, the regional chairman of Bono region, NPP, Abetena TV, so or live, miseducating the Ghanaian about 24 hours economic policy and then trying to lie to the people, say US policy, because of 24 hours economic policy. Hey, now they want to from sir. NPP for
Jimmy for party job.
What's your NPP again?
A Jimmy for party.
A Jimmy for party in the unknown yet.
Oh, me, Jina President Kufu when you catch Anna Becala.
Now, Jimmy for party now, Bulgaria, also your NPP Nino.
Oh, and I said, Jimmy.
All right. And that is how Abronya understands 24 hours economic policy. Then, Editro, I said that. In Editro, a chairman for. Minia Jefferson, the NDC communication team or the communication team of the Great NDC must monitor such media outlets to curb their lies before it eats into the people's minds like you are doing. Minia, that is exactly what I keep on saying because NDC for it seems to say you're winning about now. You're so relaxed. Say sometimes before elections, now we were chasing NPP for boot to boot or boot for boot. But as I say, everybody is relaxed. Abronya can't say we qua. Then they leave him to speak. Think it's a nipa agreement, but I'm telling you on authority say so many people who believe and trust in Sergeant than we Abronya here. Because imagine Ghana near Nanko Ope Pass or Cope Visa. Na sebi otu kwen kwa bruchiri. Na what is a US for limited a time frame na visa sono. Na Abronya bet na ho e ka chere say John Mahama 24 hours economic policy. And until na visa no, some people might believe it. Some people might believe and go to the same line Abronya Ekano. But he knows very well that he is lying. As a jandam we been Abronya. And we need to ask ourselves as these kind of people when they are in the society, are they really lawyers? Because they call themselves lawyers. I saw Abronya insulting Samson Ayenini, say he is a better lawyer than Samson Ayenini. But I don't foresee Samson Ayenini arguing from this point foolishly to say Abronya. I've never seen him do that. I've never ever in my life seen him in that kind of line. say osheda say ofa asembi na ode azan ene jandam afra adituro ede akire nipa bim. I've never seen him do that. I've never in my life seen him do that. And that is the reason why Mr. President and some of us also need our time to explain the same thing to some people in our society. Actually, on Monday, 24 hours economic policy in Ankatano. Because in seminar, also, I'll play a whole video. I'm aware of how Mr. President explaining 24 hours economic policy. No, I did Ghana for mu. Sene beye obi ebe hu se say na 24 hours economic policy no e kire ba enye ne abro nyam e na mam kan no but me say NDC for en se ye tana se ensem na sa nkurufo we kan no ebi mu adwen nye den enkoso nipa bebre adwen epie so nipa cho yentie how our president explaining this kind of policy
what you're doing. But to conclude, let me put the Gavi replenishment in context. Gavi is...
Let me just play another video for you. Sorry for this one. Because we'll come to this point. Now, I may play another video. Now, that particular video. Now, you have a video, no? And how the president explaining 24 hours economic policy, no? And team Munufie. But before I do that, no, I also have another Jandambia, another person. This man there. NPP General Secretary. He calls himself a lawyer too. Or he's a lawyer. I don't want to... I know he's also a lawyer. Justin Kodia, I know he's also a lawyer. And Justin Kodia, I said that also... Etu mfuturo di guamamfo enisa. Kopim say, mfuturo no. Catching up with he himself. With he himself. And futuro no echi ono ankasa. Inti just could answer nsema o kachire ono ankasa ne party for.
Go collect and declare the winner of Ablekumanov. And the Ghana police is supposed to provide security. The court never said, go and do a rerun. Court never said, go and do a rerun. The court said, go, collect, and declare. So for us in the New Patriotic Party, we have resorted to go back to the court. Because what the Electoral Commission is doing is contempt of court. It's illegal. It's unacceptable. Because a simple instruction has been given to you. Go, collect, and declare. Not go and rerun.
Lawyer no. Lawyer thinks he say a court and a chile easy juma wanye. NPP General Secretary no lawyer no. I would have done NPP for my bre papa. And again, the court never said go collect and then results, and didn't say go and rerun. The EC is in contempt of court. Hey, lawyer Justin Kodia. In the Ghana Constitution, simple one, okay, and say now, say. Article 45 of Ghana's Constitution say the Electoral Commission shall have the following functions. Pacho, let me take my time and then we all read it. Who we are? Pacho, send ya what you say no. No, be said Justin Kodia. A. To compile the register of voters and revise it at such periods as may be determined by law. Pacho B. To demarcate the electoral boundaries for both national and local government elections. C. To conduct and supervise all public elections and referenda. To conduct and supervise all public elections and referenda. What the means you have. Na member asyepa no. Or say except ufdru 46 wana adebi 46 wo. Except as provided in this constitution or in any other law not inconsistent with this constitution. In the performance of its functions, the Electoral Commission shall not be subject to any directions or control of any person or authority. Article 46, you know. Just the code episode on Canada. So as just the code NPP before things say, rather no law court and no also no will have to tell EC how they should conduct their business. Per the constitution of the country, easy the conducting elections. And the constitution in Article 46 catch there and say easy conducting the functions now. Nobody under anybody's control except NPP for one court. And they think that the court have the power to direct easy on what to do. They call themselves lawyers. Article 45, 46, simple one, just they could just say, or no can one say. And the EC is in contempt of court. Now, I can't brofu tinti way. Actually, NPP for me we could do court say, madam, forget out. And ye juma no EC na ye juma. Corner call run elections na yenko nko. Ukoya wa go lutu. They are all lawyers, but I don't know how they got their law certificate. Minim so mu wie remember that ho machin o. Se kwesi da na dwo se I have no idea. No bab. So sometimes all these kind of people say, monitor munya and church ramon. This is how they make their followers. Ubonso sefa kotokuro no afase kan no dinechi. Miwa onima de kwakwantre odin Justin Koduachi because Justin Kodua is misinforming them. But how NPP for your majuma? They only misinform and miseducate their masses. That is what they've been doing. And they have a problem. Because Justin Kodua morning as if Munufie say court and a chile Ghana juma yenye. That is why a parliament to create an association mera. Now for your markets a page the Supreme Court. Now Supreme Court moment a coach in the parliament juma wenye. Meanwhile the three arms of government obia when juma way. How they understand the constitution of the country? They are bunch of confused people.
Jimmy for party job. Munufie.
What's your NPP again?
Jimmy for party.
Yo, nana do say party na then. And of course, we NPP party now. I want to be him. I want to one him. And then when we go back to Abronya, when he was misinforming a man for say 24 hours economic policy, Jumabu, he forgot to say it was rather no NPP for the promise Ghana for say Ombema Jumabu. Ti Abronya ye, with the ye.
24-hour economy, say a Jumabu. Inte say nipa ba kuntimi nya adwuma mu hia nipa miensa.
Yate. Say 24 hours economic policy say adwuma bu a abronye da wase. By a for two party jina why the promising yonko say obema mo adwuma. Yonko bi say John Bodu say why na so be magana for adwuma ye.
New patriotic party programs are ye die gu ho no ebedu baabi no ye be kra nkofo afiama no ne no ma be ye adwuma wo Ghana. New patriotic party programs are ye die gu ho no ebedu baabi no ye be kra nkofo afiama no ne no ma be ye adwuma wo Ghana.
Ye da say enti abronye e rather na wo party no na ka kire Ghana for say programs amomo de gu akwan mu no ebedu baabi ne be kra nipa afiama no ne. I was in Crawford when Sister we again and you go out about the moment. Sometimes I think it's Ghana for now. And I said, somebody young Kaya and I said, John Board in the council answer which Ghana for say, a better baby, NPP for back Krenipa, and I Ghana back Krenipa, every baby, a baby, Yajuma. Now, when a Delta Force for the NPP for 10, I say, Juman and Ma, and the Kobita John Board say, now Juman also by my name or Hemfa. John Board, the answers at the moment. Also, you can't threaten us with jobs. John Board is catching NPP for now, no catching almost a Juma Bebu. Our Ghana Magana, Nienya, Juma, yes, I'm a Cochrane perfect Burkina, and Wagadugu in Americano. Yes, Uncle beside John Board is a John. Now, you want to say Ghana, Jumani, or see you people cannot threaten us. Say, Mama Jumani, because you may be anywhere. John Board do Corona on the cast as we are. Abronya has easily forgotten. We ye kaka when a Kevin Taylor fan calculation. We need to let them understand. Yeah, Kyle almost said they made mention of this kind of words or these utterances. NPP focus out. Hey, John Boyd to make something when you know. Hey,
New patriotic party programs are ye die gu ho no ebedu baabi no ye be kra nkofo afiama no ne no ma be ye adwuma wo Ghana.
Yo, yeah, that's it. Tawa kra ba mamfo fiama no ne. Now, if they your mama banners or not the 24 hours economic policy, a in-depth understanding as any person be an agreement without saying, Abronya say no moment say your mama so the Jumaba into American for say or Magan and Ibe Mugura Hobium. Sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah